Hi friends, welcome to classes by Lab Doctor. In today's class, let us discuss in brief about the metabolism of this vitamin D. So, you all know that vitamin D, the natural source of this vitamin D is your sunlight. Okay, so this sunlight stimulates the production of this vitamin D in the skin, and yes, there are certain food also which are rich in vitamin D, like you have your fatty fish, you have your fish liver oil, egg yolks, mushrooms, etc. And definitely the vitamin D supplements. The requirement of vitamin D also varies as per ages. So like in a teenage we might require around 600 international units, whereas in an adult who is more than 70 years of age or older we might require around 800 international units, and pregnant and breastfeeding women require around 600 international units, and infants they require up to 400 international units. So vitamin D, what we talk, is found in two forms. One is the vitamin D2 or the Ergocalciferol, and it is a plant derived vitamin. And next is vitamin D3, which is the Cholecalciferol. This vitamin D2 is an inactive molecule, okay, and the active form of vitamin D is this calcitrol. Okay, we will see about this in the coming slides. And I've told you that there are two forms, vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. So vitamin D2 is a plant based, so it is seen in plants like mushroom or in fortified foods. What we see, it is vitamin D2. And vitamin D3, it's mainly animal based, so it is seen in the fish, it is seen in liver, it is seen in the egg yolk, and what we synthesized in the skin from the sunlight, that is vitamin D3. So this vitamin D2, mainly it is derived from the yeast and the fungus, whereas vitamin D3 we get when the sun exposed skin produces it. So vitamin D2 is less potent and it has a very short lifespan compared to vitamin D3, which is more stable and it is having a longer life. The stability wise, this plant-based vitamin D, it is sensitive to heat, light, etc. Whereas vitamin D3, it is more stable and it has a longer life in our body. Absorption of this plant-based vitamin is not that efficient, so the less availability for action, whereas vitamin D3, it is very efficiently absorbed from the body and efficiently used by the body also. When the sunlight falls on the skin has this 7-dehydrocholesterol. So this, when the sun rays fall on them, this 7-dehydrocholesterol will get converted into vitamin D. Okay, and this 20% of the vitamin D comes from the food what we intake. So that is around 20%, and majority what we use is from the sunlight. So that is 80%. So now this vitamin D is carried to the liver. It can be carried by a globulin, by a protein, it is carried into the liver, and in the liver there is hydroxylation taking place by an enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase. So this 25 hydroxy vitamin D is formed. So there is another addition of the OH group. So now there are two hydroxy groups. So this is 25 hydroxy vitamin D. This enters the kidney and further hydroxylation take place, and now three hydroxy groups are added to it. So this becomes 125 dihydroxy vitamin D. So this is having three hydroxy vitamin. So here it had two, here it had one, and here it has three hydroxy groups. So you can see here the UV rays have fallen. The 7-dehydrocholesterol is getting converted into cholecalciferol. The food intake also provides this vitamin D3. So when it goes into the liver, the brain, the pericytes in the brain, it will get converted to 25 hydroxy vitamin D3 with the help of an enzyme 25 hydroxylase. And this 25 hydroxy vitamin D3, once it enters the kidney, with the help of this enzyme 1-alpha hydroxylase. So this 1-alpha hydroxylase is present in the kidney, in the proximal tubules, in the glial cells, in the neurons. So you will see that whenever there is any brain disorder, kidney disorder, etc., you will see that there will be vitamin D deficiency, because these are the cells, the kidney, the proximal tubular cells, the pericytes, the glial cells, the neurons, wherein the conversion of this takes place. The 25 hydroxy vitamin D gets converted to 125 dihydroxy vitamin D3 or calcitriol. There are 3 hydroxy groups in it. So this has only 2 hydroxy groups and this has 3 hydroxy group, and this is the active form. The 125 dihydroxy vitamin D3 is the active form. We are only talking about D3 here because this is the animal source. If it is D2, it is the plant source. So this is the potent form. So this is vitamin D3. This is 25 hydroxy vitamin D3. This is 125 dihydroxy vitamin D3. So the one which is in the kidney, this is the active form. Okay, and this has 3 hydroxy group. That is why calcitriol. So same thing is explained here. This is sun exposed here. The pre-vitamin D3 gets converted into cholecalciferol, and from the food, from the gut, what we absorb, that reaches the liver with the help of proteins, binding to the proteins. So this 25 hydroxylase enzyme converts this, and here you get calcidiol. That is, there are 2 hydroxy groups added here now. Okay, so this enters the kidney, and with the help of 1-alpha hydroxylase, another OH group is added, and this becomes calcitriol. So the calcidiol becomes calcitriol. So the triol has 3 hydroxy group and the diol has 2 hydroxy group. The active form is calcitriol. This is the active form of vitamin D. But when we measure the vitamin D 25 hydroxy vitamin. That is, we measure this form. This form is stable, this form is easy to measure, this form is the abundant form, so we measure this form. Only in certain kidney diseases, etc., we order this 125 dihydroxy vitamin D. So this vitamin D 25 hydroxy is the one which we usually order when we get a blood test done. So you can see here vitamin D is measured, and which is this one, 25 hydroxy. The one which is in the liver, that is what is measured, and this is the result, and this is the units what they have given. So if it is less than 10, it is deficient. If it is insufficient, that is 10 to 30. Sufficient, that means 30 to 100 is sufficient level. This is very rare we see. Majority patients will be insufficient. The sufficient level will be 30 to 100 nanogram per ml. But what I want to tell you is, what we measure is this. Usually when we order a blood test, this is the one. Vitamin D 25 hydroxy vitamin D is the one. Calcidiol is the one which is measured. So same thing here, but what I want to stress here is, you can see this cofactor. This is a magnesium. So this magnesium acts as a cofactor here. Magnesium is a mineral, okay, and this takes part in various steps of this vitamin D production. So if there is this magnesium deficiencies, etc., like suppose if you are taking an antacid will bind with the magnesium and it will cause a reduced level of magnesium. That is why people who are taking magnesium antacids for a long time, they will develop decreased calcium level. So hypocalcemia occurs because they are not helping here in these steps. So magnesium is also a very important mineral in the calcium metabolism. So this is one thing, and definitely PTH is one of the hormone which controls the biological active form of vitamin D is this 125 dihydroxy vitamin D3. I hope there is no confusion with this D3, because The animal form is D3 and the plant form is D2. So we will have D3 definitely. So everywhere it will be D3. First it was 25 hydroxy vitamin D3. So only 2 hydroxy groups. Then later it became active. It became 125 dihydroxy vitamin D3. So this is the active form. When we take the food, it can be vitamin D2 from the plant sources, mushroom, fortified food, or it could be the animal sources, egg yolk, etc. So this is how the metabolism of this vitamin D is taking place. You will see later that there will be many feedback mechanism which will control the levels of this vitamin D. So the important hormone here is PTH. This PTH, where it is produced, this is produced from the parathyroid, parathormone. And where is this parathyroid? It is close to the thyroid. So this parathyroid, what it does, the main function of this parathyroid gland is it will increase the level of calcium in the blood. Whenever the level of calcium goes down, this parathormone is released. It will increase the level of calcium. How it will increase? It will cause resorption of the bone. It will break those bones and it will send the calcium. So the calcium level will increase. And it will increase the absorption of calcium from the gut. So it will increase the level of calcium. It will stimulate the kidney and it will increase the reabsorption of the calcium. Okay. So parathormone is a very important hormone, and this parathormone will increase the calcium and it will decrease the phosphorus level. Similarly, you have another hormone called as calcitonin, which is produced by the C cells of the thyroid. Okay, so it is very close by. Calcitonin, what it does? Calcitonin will decrease the calcium and it will decrease the phosphorus. So calcitonin has an opposite effect compared to PTH with respect to calcium. So if the calcium level is very high, there will be a negative feedback mechanism. Calcitonin is produced. So calcitonin will reduce the calcium and also reduce the phosphorus. And 125 dihydroxyvitamin D3 will increase the calcium and also increase the phosphorus. So this is the only enzyme which is increasing both. Calcitonin is reducing both. So this 125 vitamin D3 will increase calcium and also increase the phosphorus. So these were the various feedback mechanism, how they will maintain the calcium and phosphorus level in the body. So if the calcium levels are high, if the calcium level are low, the enzymes, the hormones are stimulated and they are released and they will maintain the levels of calcium and phosphorus. Mainly three. One is a parathormone, one is your vitamin D3, 125 dihydroxyvitamin D3, and the calcitonin. So what are the factors which affect the vitamin D metabolism? One is the age. So this metabolism can be affected by age-related changes in the skin, kidney function, etc. Kidney disease. If the person is having chronic kidney disease, this can impair the ability of the kidney to produce 125 dihydroxyvitamin D3, leading to the deficiency. Certain type of medicines what you take, I've told you the antacids, glucose corticoids, anti-seizure drugs, anti-epileptic medicines, they can interfere with the vitamin D metabolism. And exposure to sun and diet. So where you stay, the geographical area, your dietary intake, your supplementation, all can affect the metabolism of this vitamin D. Was in brief about the metabolism of vitamin D. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you.